Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Bizagi Spring 2023 webinar. Thank you so much, everyone, for being connected today with us. I'm really excited to present what we have now for you, what we have prepared, everything that's coming in this new version. My name is Kevin Guerrero. I am currently the Technical Marketing Manager here at Bizagi, and I will be with you during this hour talking about what is included in our Bizagi Spring 2023, everything that we have done to actually deliver this version, every single new feature and new capability, how you will be able to use it and take advantage of the new version, and how actually we will be able to be better in the ways on how we create our applications and how we are accelerate the customization and personalization of experiences of different users. So please sit down, relax, and enjoy everything that we will be presenting today. So I would like to start today with this amazing journey that we have began a couple years ago. I was just taking a look, and it was almost 1 year ago where I was here in the same place talking about what it was at that time, our Bizagi Spring 2022. That Bizagi Spring 2022 was the first cloud-only version that we got in Bizagi. It means it was the first time that as a company, we decided our full focus, attention, and efforts will be in cloud products, meaning that every single developer, every single QA engineer, every single support engineer must be focused now in cloud and to make better everything that we do in cloud. This has been a challenge. It has been a really important path that we take, and it was amazing. We cannot deny that we have learned a lot of lessons after we took that decision, but also we every single day were sure that that was the best decision that we can make at the time. That decision was the one that enabled us to actually deliver much better and in a much better speed, new features, new capabilities, improve the quality of our product, generate and put into the market innovative ideas that before it was a little bit more difficult because we were focusing in multiple things. So after 1 year, I will say, yes, it's amazing. It has been an amazing path. We have learned a lot of things during this path. We're working every single day to make our platform better, to actually give you much more things, better functionalities, better capabilities, and we're ready to start what it will be this new year with this new version and everything that we have. If you were able to actually be with me last year when we were talking about everything about the Bizagi Spring 2022, at the time our future was fully basically perceived as the cloud. At that moment, the decision was that cloud was the future, that everything that we will do from that moment will be focused in how to make our cloud platform much better. But now, this year, Bizagi Spring 2023 has a different perception of the future. Now, we're much better working in the cloud. Now, we have a much better understanding and what the customers or our clients are expecting from us when they work in our platform. And that's now why we have decided that now the future looks for us as modern apps. So now this year in Bizagi Spring 2023, we decide that the future are modern apps. Probably you have heard from a couple months ago that we changed the value proposition and that now we're actually offering or we're standing in the market in a completely different way with a different message. And it is that now Bizagi is modern apps powered by process. It means that now our objective is to offer to our customers all the modern applications, the possibility to actually customize and personalize the experience of the different users that work in our application, and that's the way on how we go. So everything that I will be presenting today in our session has as a main objective to reinforce the way on how we are going to deliver those modern apps powered by process. And I am really excited. I'm really happy to be able to present what is Bizagi Spring 2022, Today, I will be covering some of these topics. I will be covering at the end what is Bizagi Apps, right? A clear, easy, simple definition of Bizagi Apps, right? We will see how easy and what is the approach that we have taken when we want to build our enterprise apps. And definitely one of the main objectives is that if we want to be in a different position in the market, if we want to provide better experience for our clients, the construction, the definition, and building those enterprise apps must be something as easy as the 1, 2, 3. So we will see what's the meaning of that. Then we will just jump into some details about what the experience metrics, what is the app designer, what is the app launcher, and what are the new published apps that we have. And we will end with one quick demo, so you will be able to see how everything that I will be talking during the presentation is now reflected in our platform and how you can use all those features to actually make better applications. So let's start with one of the most important things about this session, and is what is Bizagi Apps. We have worked and we think a lot when we were creating this capability to try to get one simple way on how we can define Bizagi Apps. This is what it's called if you want to put this on the back of a napkin, right? So if you are in one place and someone asks you what is Bizagi Apps, what is included in Bizagi Spring 2023, this is what you will have to say. And basically, Bizagi Apps is the easiest way to create robust enterprise apps with built-in governance. So we have put in this back of the napkin Bizagi Apps definition all the important things that we want to highlight and that I want that you keep in your mind. What is this definition about? So it means that we're talking about the easiest way how we are going to create our enterprise apps in a really easy way, in a really clean way, without getting into all the complexities that sometimes appear when we want to create our applications. No, we are going to offer the easiest way. At the same time, we're going to create enterprise apps, not just the basic ones, but we are going to be able to cover the whole spectrum from maybe some easy applications to actually robust enterprise apps. And the last part is something really important that we have identified, and it is if we want to have these type of initiatives included or within our companies, it is required to escalate and to grow internally in the organization. But the only way to grow right is if we have built-in governance. We don't want to get into everywhere in the organization if we don't have control of the way that we have. So one more time, this is the one that you have to repeat in your mind. This is the one that you have to take home, and it's Bizagi Apps is the easiest way to create robust enterprise apps with built-in governance. And when we start creating this Bizagi Spring 2023, we did an analysis of different experience and different feedbacks, and we sit down with a lot of our customers, clients, partners, and we try to understand how was the whole view and the general view of the market at that time. And one of the conclusions that we came up it was that at that moment, it looks like that when some of our clients were facing these transformation challenges, they had in front of their eyes two main options, right? From one place, they were having everything that has been known in the market for many years, that are all the great benefits from process automation. So it means they were looking for all the benefits that came when you automate processes, that are the operational efficiencies, standardization, governance, and compliance. But at the same time in the market, we start seeing customers, clients, partners, everyone starts seeing that we had new trends that were a lot relate with what it will be low-code enterprise apps. And some of them want to just jump directly into those benefits because definitely we want to have rapid value delivery. We don't want to be in months or long development cycles where we have to wait a lot of time to just see one result. We also want to have those personalized experience where every single user has a different experience when they're accessing the application. And something that has actually showing in the market and now it's getting more and more attention, that is the composability. How I can create my applications using this concept of composability. But the reality at the time is that we were looking, or we were seeing that it looks like that these two approaches were completely separate, and that there was not a way on how we can have the best of both worlds. And that's why when we were working in the creation of Bizagi Spring 2023, one of the main decisions is that we want to bring the best of process automation and the best of low-code enterprise app in a single platform. And that's where Bizagi takes place. Remember that Bizagi actually came from business agility, meaning that at the end, our main objective is to actually deliver to companies business agility now through the process automation and the low-code enterprise apps. Once that we start thinking about the version and defining what it will be the best approach, which new features will be included, what is needed to actually improve the experience of our client, one of the first analyses that we did is that it is important for everyone to understand that when you're working in an application, it's different, or we have different purpose, but also different personas. So it means that the way on how one persona interacts with one application can be completely different than the other one. And we were able to identify that actually for many years, we were really, really good providing a custom experience for those transactionals or case workers, where their main objective is to just go and read or see a list of pending tasks, and that they can start completing as many tasks as they can. But also we identify that it was really important and that many customers wanted to have another view, another interaction, another way to approach the information that is presented in the app. And we were able to identify that basically these managers or these knowledge workers were expecting to actually have dynamic dashboards, inside information and actions, that in a way they are able to go to the same application that may be the transactional or the case worker, but with a completely different view. As a manager, probably I don't want to just go and see how many tasks I have to do today, but instead of that, I would like to just go directly and start seeing the different dashboards. How many of the loans that I have open in the month are still open? How many of them are processing? How many of them are already approved? So we want a different view, a high-level view. And one of the conclusions that we got there is that definitely we need to offer new ways to tailor the experience for different type of users, and in this way improve the way on how personas will interact with the applications. So that was another important point. But finally, the third main pillar of the development of this Spring 2023, it was, okay, we're putting now the best of both worlds. We're putting together process automation and low-code enterprise apps in one single platform. At the same time, we're now understanding and giving options to offer different applications for purpose and for persona. But if we want to actually get into every single corner of an organization, we need to scale. We need to go and, like in some way, scale these initiatives. But if we want to do it right, we need to safely scale, safely innovate at the scale. We cannot just grow without losing the control. So that's why the third main pillar on this new version is that we need to offer built-in governance at different levels. And that's why we're adding governance when we're talking about the application. When we generate those final applications, we're able to identify and we're able to be sure that only users with some properties, with some characteristics, can see information, activities, dashboards that belongs to them. So we need to offer that control over the applications. At the same time, we need to offer program level governance. What is this? If your organization is already in a high maturity level, probably you have experience or you have identified that when these initiatives start to grow and grow, you don't have just one developer working or automating processes. Now you have centers of excellence, of you have different teams working together. So we need to offer also a governance to control this center of excellence that can grow and can continue creating the applications, but in a much organized way. And at the end, also, we want to offer built-in governance in the developer level, meaning that we want that our platform is flexible enough to provide and to display every single capability that we want according to the technical skills of the developers. And we can have different levels of skills, right? And according to that level, present some features or hide some features. So these are the three main pillars that we have. We want to have the best of both worlds in one single platform. We want to offer new experience for persona and for purpose. And at the same time, we want to have the built-in governance. And that is where we have now our Bizagi apps. So when we built and when we were creating this Bizagi Spring 2023, one of our main objectives is we need to make the approach to create enterprise apps as something as easy as the 1, 2, 3. And that's when we came up with this. So now what we want to have is that every single time that you want to create an app is going to be as easy as 1, 2, 3. So the first step, it will be to compose the app. The second one will be to customize the UI and extend components. And I'm going to just get into more detail about why this is step 2 have these two possibilities, right? And the third one is just go and publish the app. 1, 2, 3, and with that, you will have applications ready to use and ready to run. So let's start seeing in detail what is the meaning of the compose the app, customize UI UX, extend components, and then publish the app. The first step that it will be the compose the app came with a totally new feature in our platform that it is called the experience matrix. And how we came with experience matrix, why we need experience matrix in our product. There is something that we cannot deny, and is that the modern enterprise apps are complex. If we want to do the analysis of how a vehicle loan works or how an order management process works, we cannot deny that those are complex, that we have interaction of different areas within the organization, of different systems, that we manipulate a lot of data from one place to the other one, that we need to organize and synchronize in one single place, a lot of things for one of those processes to make sense. However, one of the things that we came up is like, yeah, modern enterprise are complex and we cannot deny that. But something that we strongly believe is that what those modern enterprise does should not be hard to understand. It cannot be that you don't have a way to simply explain how something works. And when we get deeper into this analysis, we identified this. In all the organizations, we found a lot of IT driving requirements. IT driving requirements that at the end, when you see it and when you analyze it in detail, are messy. Really, really a lot of information, thousands and thousands of user stories that sometimes doesn't have too much sense, or that has been in the backlog for so long that no one no one understands what they are talking about. But at the same time, we have the other end. And the other end is the business driving requirements. So business areas that want to solve some of the issues or some of the problems that they have on the daily basics. But when we go and analyze those business driving requirements, what we find is high level, right? Too high level. Most of the time, what we found was like high level PowerPoint files, a lot of slides, but nothing really detailed that give me the information of what's required, how many people will be involved, which data do you require. So two different ends, and none of them are actually good. So one of the things that we were thinking about is like, okay, then what is just right? What it can be a middle point that allow me to just take all those 1,000 stories from the IT driving requirements and combine that with this high level presentation from business requirements. And that as a result, we are able to come up with something that is detailed enough for IT, but also clear and easy enough for business to understand what's happening. And when we came home, it's, we need something there. We need to offer something that allow me to offer this middle point. And that's where we come with the Visagi Experience Matrix. This is a whole new feature that is available in the application. It is the feature that will allow us to complete this first step in the as easy as 1, 2, 3, that is decompose the application. Visagi Experience Matrix, it's available in the Visagi Studio application. It means it's going to be used when we're building or designing or creating our applications. We will see in detail later in the demo that there is a whole new section in Visagi Studio that allow me to support the creation of these new components, and there is one specifically that is the Experience Matrix. And the main objective of this Experience Matrix is that it is going to be a single, easy to understand view of the application stakeholders and their available information and activities. So it means that now you can take IT and you can take business, put them in the Experience Matrix, and it will be clear for everyone. It is the way on how the Experience Matrix display the information, the one that makes that it's easy for everyone to understand. One of the flexibilities about the Experience Matrix is that you will be able to compose your applications top-down, bottom-up, or with a mixed or blended model that you want. So what's the meaning of this? You can start creating applications using the Experience Matrix as your starting point and say, hey, this is the new application that I want to build, and I will start from the Experience Matrix. And from the Experience Matrix, create everything that you need there. You will be able to create the interactions, the people, the person, everything. You will be able to create it from there. Or if not, the other possibility is, hey, you know what? I have been already working for a while with Visagi, so it means I already have some elements. I don't have to start from scratch all the times. Instead of that, I can reuse all those existing elements to compose my Experience Matrix. And at the end, this Experience Matrix is going to be a simplified view from personas, business objects, interactions, and reports. Every single time that we enter or we go deep into an Experience Matrix, we will be able to see the personas that interact in one application, the business objects or the data that they can interact with, and the intersection of those two elements are defined as the interactions. What a persona can do over the business option. And additional of that, we're even adding something that are the reports. So which are the reports that we want to make for the persona to access? But if you remember when we were talking about the back of the napkin definition of what's Bizagi Apps, the first part, it is the easiest way. So when we finished the Experience Matrix, we were like, yeah, but we want something more. And that's when we came with that additional part that is one single button called Generate App that is going to allow me to create automatic or generate automatically one personalized experience that is ready for the UI and the UX customization with just one click. It means that when we say that is the easiest, it is the easiest. You compose your Experience Matrix, you define personas, business objects, interaction, and then with just one click, all that Experience Matrix is transformed into one application that is ready to use, ready to be tested, and ready to see. We will see that in detail in our demo. Now, once that we generate that application, once that we have that experience ready, we can jump into the second step of as the easiest 1, 2, 3. And in this part, what we have is how we can customize the UI and the UX. And mainly here, we are introducing and presenting what it's called the Bizagi App Design. Bizagi App Designer is going to be the place where we can create now our custom experience, where we can use this no-code approach to customize our applications using just drag and drop of controls that are out of the box, that are ready to use, and that you just have to complete some basic configurations. In the app designer, you will have two main options. You can start from scratch in one new application that you want to customize, or you can start from one of these applications that are automatically generated with the Generate App button within the Experience matrix. The creation and the customization of the experiences here will be really simple. You will see, or you will find, a lot of out-of-the-box controls that with simple dragging and drop, you can customize the experience. You will be able to change colors, backgrounds, logos, titles, alignments, everything with simple control and simple configuration with this bar. When we were seeing the as easy as 1 to 3, I was telling you that in the step number 2, we have two options: customize the UI and the UX, and the next one is actually to extend the components. But now let's understand why this is in this way. If you are starting a whole new project from scratch, it will mean that these extend components does not exist. It means that you will have to do and create those extend components. And when we're talking about the extend components, it is how we can use the visual low-code platform that we have in Bizagi, the wizard view where we have the 7 easiest steps to create an application, to build those components that are required to be included in the experience matrix and then in the customization of the UI and the UX. So if it is the first time, for you, it will be mandatory to actually do these extend components. But every single time that you create one new application, it means that you are creating also new extend components. And it means that probably the next time when you create your second, your third, your 10th application, you don't need to create all extend components from scratch. And it is possible that at some point you get into a point that actually you already have all the extend components needed and you don't need to create some of them. So that's why this step number 2 can be UI, UX personalized. This is something that, let's say, has to go all the time because it's the option where you can customize how your applications are going to look like. And this next one, that is the extend component, it's possible that exists depending on how mature or how many extend components you have. So now we got the experience matrix, we create the app, we put all the elements there together, we customize the UI, the UX, we use all the extend components that are ready, and now we can get into the last step, that it will be our publish app. And when we publish the app, we can think about of 2 new elements that are included and are presented here in Bizagi Spring 2023. The first of them, it is what's called Bizagi App Launcher. The Bizagi App Launcher is this homepage where every single user can go directly and see all the applications that they have access. Really important, and I am going to come back to one of the first slides that I present, and it is one of the analysis that we did is that different users can have different approach to applications. But also we understand that the same user can have different approach to different type of applications. So for example, Kevin, as an employee, can access the HR application in a completely different way, where maybe my objective is just to go and see a list of pending tasks, but Kevin, as a marketing manager, can access the marketing application as a manager, where my objective is not go and see a list of pending tasks, but actually maybe some dashboards or some places where I can take control of what's happening with my global campaigns and which actions can I take. So this app launcher will be the home place for every single user, and it's going to allow us to see easily how many applications that user has access to, and with one single click, getting and enter into one of the applications that we have there from. This is the way on how now the applications that are built using this 1 to 3 approach looks like. for you, for the ones that maybe has been working with us for a couple of years, or that you already know how our platform works, this is huge. This is a really big change in terms of how the UI looks like. In Visagi, we were used to have a lot of this list of activities, but now this is completely different. This is taking down those barriers and opening the option and the possibility to create any custom and personalized experience that you want. This is what is included with Visagi Spring 2023. Now, before to jump into the demo, I would like to get into a little bit more details about what I am talking and what I am referring when we say we are going to be able to automatically generate applications that are ready for customization. And I want to just get into more details in this step when we're talking about this new concept that is composable business architecture, right? And the idea behind of this is that we are going to be able to use existing elements. So if you are a customer, we can use all those existing elements that you have already in your projects, and we will be able to use those elements to create personalized experience. So how the picture looks like today, right? So let's talk about in this moment what we have as a current customer. So as a current customer, you have already been working with our application for a long time, and it means that you already have a lot of reusable elements. When we're talking about reusable elements, we're talking about that you already have data, that you already have flows, that you already have forms, that you have personas, and you have reports. This is something that you already have. All these reusable elements is the baseline for me to go and create the next level that are modular business capabilities. And right now, these modular business capabilities are mainly end-to-end processes. So I am able to use data flows, forms, personas, and report to create end-to-end processes and to get into the last level that is a personalized experience that so far today it is Caseworker Inbox. With Visagi Spring 2023, what are we doing? What are we opening? Which is the door that we're opening for you? So now this Caseworker Inbox is not going to be the only personalized experience that we will be able to offer. But additional of that, now with the same reusable elements that we have in the top of our architecture, we will be able to now create more and better modular business capabilities. Something important is that we are going to be able to even create granular modular business capabilities, right? So it means that with the same elements, now we will be able to create easily modular business capability to just have data entry and updates, or to have integration flows where it is required to connect to external systems, or to have orchestration flows where bots, people, and data are connected in a single place, or finally, to actually update existing flows. And all these new modular business capabilities will give us the option to offer and to provide better personalized experience. So it means that now the Caseworker Inbox is not going to be the only experience that we can provide. We can also provide now new experience for someone that is working from mobile device and that usually they need just to do some approvals. Or we're offering new applications for the knowledge worker that is working constantly based on information to take actions and modify elements there. Or manager dashboards. So this is the picture, or this is the new picture with Visagi Spring 2023. Our baseline of reusable elements are the same, but now we are opening the door to have better and more modular business capability that probably will be more granular. And also, we are expanding the options for us to have personalized experience. So now, let me go into something, because this sounds really nice when we see it directly in a PowerPoint, right? But how we made that to be reflected directly in our application, how this is actually true when we have, or when we take a deeper view in Visagi Spring 2023. So the first thing is that we jump directly into what it is a Visagi Experience Mastery. And here, I want that you just pay attention that everything that was presented before as reusable elements are presented here as the elements that we use to build our experience matrix. So it means that on the left side, I am going to have everything that are going to be my personas. On the horizontal part axis, we're going to have the data. So which personas and which business objects or data I have access to. And the intersection between those two are what we're going to call the interactions. And these interactions are what? Processes, data, whatever is needed there. So what we have done is that all those reusable elements, that is the baseline to create our personalized experience, are included directly into the experience matrix. We have even included the last one, that are reports. So we have persona, data, interactions, and report. So all the baseline is done. And now we want to jump to create personalized experience. How we are going to do this? How we can achieve the same message, saying that we're also the easiest one. So when we were thinking about being the easiest one, what we did is to have this generate app button. And once that you click this generate app button, we will be able to have a full application ready to use, ready to be customized, because this can be a really good starting point. Accelerate the time where we can get feedback from our end users, and every single part of this application is connected directly with those reusable elements that we saw in the experience matrix. So it means I am going to build one application for every single persona that I have in the experience matrix. The menus that are displaying that application will be based on the persona that is going to be accessed into the application. The data or the business objects that we have in the experience matrix will be used to create pages to display information, and that information can go from high levels to actually detailed levels. So to see all the promotions or just one promotion, and also all that intersection between the persona and the business object that at the end are our processes, that are our backbone, are represented as the interactions directly in my application. And finally, all those reports that we define and we assign for a particular persona are reflected in the reports that we will be able to see in my application. So this modular architecture sounds great in the presentation, but it is better when we see it working directly in the experience metric, the generate app, and the applications that we can generate automatically for you. So this is what it is being presented in Bizagi Spring 2023. These are all the features, these are all the components, this is everything that we have prepared for you. And now what I would like to do and what I would like to show you is how this looks like quickly in our application. So what's the point and what can you expect now if we just go directly into our application? So the first thing that I want to show you in this moment is this is the new version. This is our Spring, Bizagi Spring 2022, 23, sorry. You are going to start seeing some, let's say, really, really easy to identify changes, right? So we have as our future, the future that we are seeing is basically everything about modern apps. So we have made some changes within our application to make or to be aligned with those elements. So it means that our menu, even the one that we had before as the wizard view, is now being changed by the process view. We're going to have also a menu that before it was called the stakeholder. Now we're talking about the personas. And now within Bizagi Studio, we have a whole new section with all the elements and all the components from the Bizagi app capability. So we have first the experience matrix. That is the one that we can have it here. Something really important is that you can create as many experience metrics as required. There is no limit for that one. You can create as many as applications that you want to have. You have direct access to what it will be the app designer, the app launcher, and we keep offering the access to the Bizagi work portal for those users that maybe based on their experience or the personalized experience that they want is maybe to continue working in the inbox so they can still have access to this one. And we have our regular expert view. But now, how all of this is going to come together when we just see it in the real life? So the first thing is that I am going to just jump really quickly into what it will be one simple application that I create for this demonstration, and it is a support app. One support application that we create as a main objective here, what we want to do is to control and manage tickets. And the creation of the application is simple. It means I am going to have three main personas, right? Employee, support engineer, and support manager. And I am going to have just one business object that it will be the ticket. So it means that on the vertical axis, I am going to have personas. On the horizontal axis, I'm going to have business objects. If I want to create an experience matrix from scratch, it means that I can just jump here and start saying that I want to add new personas, and I'm going to have always the option to select a new persona or create a new persona from scratch or use an existing one. That's what it means when I was saying that you can create your experience matrix top down or bottom up. It's up to you. If you have already your personas created, then you can come here and just select the option, I want an existing persona. Or if not, you can come here and create all the personas from scratch. It will apply exactly the same if we just go to the business object. I can use existing business objects, or I can just create new business objects from scratch. And now what it happens is that the intersection between one persona and one business object, it's going to tell me what that persona can do over that business object. In this simple example, we can say that the employee can change the ticket priority or can have a view or can add new tickets. The support engineer can ask for more information, can escalate the ticket, and have a view to see the tickets that are assigned to the support engineer, and the support manager can escalate the ticket or just have a view of the urgent tickets. Every single of these elements can be, again, created from scratch or use existing elements that you already have there. When we click the option to add new interactions, what we're opening, what we're having in this point is the possibility to use those processes that is the backbone of our applications. So I can create new process actions, I can create new records, or I can just have views of the records. And now we saw in the presentation that we had also something additional there, that it was the report. So here, why we don't see the reports? Because reports are going to be only displayed once that we check the checkbox that we have over here, and we will be able to see the reports. So we're composing the app. This is the first step in the as easy as 1, 2, 3. I select personas, business objects, their interaction, and their reports. All the reusable elements that you have built previously, if you already are in a project, if you already have processes, if you already have personas or stakeholders, if you have business objects, everything there can be used easily here. But now, one of the most important beautiful things is I can generate or automatically generate apps using this information. If I open in this moment my app designer, I'm going just to click into this link to access directly what we have. This is how the app designer looks like. As I told you, it's a fully web development. You can access this one directly from a web browser. You don't need any additional installation. And from here, this is the main view that you will be able to see. From one part, you will be able to just go and see how the app launcher looks like for that application. In this case, I only have one application, that is the work portal. And on the other hand, I'm going to be able to customize how that app launcher looks like. So I can open this wizard to customize my app launcher, change the name, change the color, change the icon, change the logos, whatever you want to do to customize this app launcher, it will be available at this particular point. But also, at the same time, I have now my applications, and I can create application from scratch using this create new application. And here you will have to define this application will belong to who, which are the users that will have access to this application. Or if not, if you want to use the approach and use this concept of the easiest to create robust application, we can just jump directly into our experience matrix, and we can use what it will be our generate app button. I am going to click over there. It's going to take me directly to the app designer. It's going to use every single reusable element that we had in the experience matrix, and it is going to generate this application that is ready to be customized and to add the elements that you want. Something really important about this point, and I'm going to just show you this in this way, it is take a look what Bizagi is doing to generate this application. Here, I am going to be able to see different pages. How many? As many as elements we have in the experience matrix. I am going to always have a home page. Now, I am going to have the opportunity to see my tickets. Why? Because the tickets, it's something that the employee has in the experience matrix. And actually, if I review what's happening with this application, the governability in terms of which user can see what is actually reflected here. This ticket page is only visible by the employee. But also, Bizagi will automatically create the contextualized page. It means here is going to give me the opportunity to see all my tickets, but also I can go and see the details of one ticket. So jumping from the high level to a custom level. Now, why we have the other pages? Because the support engineer has a view of the tickets assigned to me, that is this one, and one more time, if I assign this is just visible by the support engineer, and the support manager has urgent tickets, and I can go here and review the same. So my application is automatically generated with all the elements that were defined and were set up into the experience matrix. But now, is this one ready? If you want, yes, this can be a great starting point to review and to get a quick and early feedback from your end users. But also take into account that you can start here customizing even more. We can go to the control section and select any of the out-of-the-box controls that are available for you to customize this. We can add new titles. If we don't like this one, we can just add one of there. We can add images. We can add a banner. We can include the options to just add buttons. Whatever you want can be customized. If you don't like something that was automatically generated by the experience matrix, you can go and change it. Take a look that here by default, in this application, we have creation day, ticket number, but this one looks weird. So I can just with one click say, hey, this is not what I want. This is not clear for me. And I just want to have here ticket creator and add it here. So you can go and customize whatever you want, but if not, you can leave it as it was automatically generated. And with a single click, going into the publish one, publish your application, and once that is published, we can just go and see how this is going to look like when an end user is going to log in. Here, it's really important that we understand that the experience will change according to the user that is being connected or that is logging into the application. If I enter it as an employee, it means that I am going to have access to see my homepage and just the view of the tickets. Here, these are automatically generated pages. It's done. It's ready. I have here one button that will allow me to just create new applications if I want, right? New cases, new details, new values. But if not, I can just go and create other ones or modify information every single time that is required here. So this is a great starting point to see how the information looks like. I can click into one of these elements and go and see the detail of the ticket that was created, what information was there. And if I change the user and instead of using the simple employee, I use now a support engineer, the experience is going to be different because now the support engineer is going to be able to see just the tickets that were assigned to that user. And that's it. So if you see, this is the easiest way and a really, really quick way on how you can create your applications. So we saw a really simple and quick example in terms of how the experience matrix looks like. But what happens if we go to more complex situations? What happens if we go to real processes, real applications, real business situations that can actually have much more elements than this one? So here I have another example, and these are two different applications that we have built for supply management processes. From one side, I have the order management, and from the other one, I have the vendor management. If I go and see how the experience matrix looks like, now we are start seeing more things. Not only one business object, three business objects, three personas, different interactions. And even if I jump into the vendor management one, I am going to see even more personas, more business objects, more interactions. It means the experience matrix can handle the whole spectrum of applications that you want to build. Starting from the easiest one as the support management example that I want, or even going further and going into real challenges into industry processes or applications as this one in the vendor management. And the amazing thing is that it doesn't matter which is the one that you decide. You can always go, I'm going to just go really quickly in this one with the app launcher, and I'm going to be able to see here that now we have a vendor and sourcing management application ready to use. And when I enter, this is the new approach. This is what we're getting. This is the new type of applications that you will be able to create. So it is one user, one persona that has access to relevant information from them that allow that persona to actually see what's happening. This is a vendor management process. How many vendors in total do I have? How many of those are being as new requests? How of them require updates? How many vendor has been evaluated? Seeing the vendors in this point, seeing the vendors request, and jump into every detail that I want with all the different pages that I am going to create. So if you see now here, I am seeing one persona that is the vendor management, having access to one business object that is the vendor, with interactions to create new vendors, request assessment for my vendor, or even request an update for my vendor. So the sky is now the limit. You can go and build any application that you want using this new approach and these new features that are included in Bizagi Spring 2023. So before we finish our session today, I would like to just, first of all, have a big announcement at this point, of course, and it is Bizagi has or truly believe that the future are modern apps. This is where we go. This is where we're facing. We're really, really proud to present this Bizagi Spring 2023 version. It's going to, or it's coming to you at the end of March. It means you will be able to start playing around with all this new capability, start creating your applications at the end of March. And we're really excited to see all the amazing applications that you will be able to build with this new capability.